Hi, this is Lorraine and we're ready to start our card number 2. Let's get started. So this is our second card, and this is a case of a card that was done on Stampin' Connection by Lynn Pratt, and she has a tutorial on her website too that shows the cutting and all that. Okay, let's just do this, okay? Let's see here. Alright, for this card we're going to need Daffodil Delight cardstock cut 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4 and folded. And then we're going to need Garden Green cut 4 by 5 1/4, and you can go ahead and attach that to the center front of your card with snail. Then you're going to need a piece of River Rock that is cut 3 3/4 by 5 inches, and this is what you're going to build everything on. So this is your background, and when you build everything on it, then you attach it to the front of your card. Okay, so let's see here. We're going to use a lot of scraps, so this is a great project for using up scraps that you have. We're going to be using the Blossom Petal Punch from the Occasions Mini. Okay, and we're going to use lots of white, so you're going to want to punch out using the large petal. You'll punch out 3, 1 for each of the Calla Lillies that you're going to make, and you'll cut out 6 of the large leaf pattern, leaf or petal. Okay, 2 for each of the blossoms. Okay, then you're also going to punch out, while you've got this punch out here, 2 leaves in Garden Green. Okay, then you're also going to cut 3 stems, and these are 1/4 inch wide by 4 inches long. And then you're going to punch out using the decorative label punch and a scrap of Daffodil Delight, a cute label. Alright, then you're also going to punch out using the designer label punch. Is this designer label? No, I think I called this wrong. Modern label punch. And now I don't see my punched piece. Okay, I'll find that in a moment. Maybe still in the bag. Yeah, it is. When I set up card kits, then I have extra pieces in the bag. Alright, so you'll need a modern label in Garden Green. Okay, then you're going to use the Happy Easter greeting that's from the Easter Blossoms stamp set, and I don't have that at hand. It's on another project, so you'll see that in the next project, the whole stamp set, but this is the words from that. And you'll stamp that in on a scrap of Whisper White, and then you're going to punch it out using the large oval punch, and there you'll have it. Okay, set that aside. Those are the parts for the label. Okay, so you got all your pieces. You'll have a piece of certainly Celery Seam Binding that measures about 5.5 inches, and so then we're ready to start assembling the card. Alrighty, so So to make the Calla Lily, you take a piece, one of each of these petals, and you will cut off the scallops. And you're just going to cut a fine line and leave a little bit. Oh, this is a little hard to see. Maybe put it against the yellow. Leave a little bit of the curve on that top bit there, and then trim off the other bit of curviness. Okay, it'll give you kind of a pointed petal. Okay, and you'll do that, repeat that 3 times, and then you're going to be coloring these. Okay, I chose to use Sahara sand to shade and highlight, but actually this is a step you can have a little fun with and give your Calla Lilies any kind of coloring you would like them to have. You know, Calla Lilies today come in so many wonderful colors. You could do pinks and purples and greens and just lots of lovely things. So you're going to take your large petal and you're going to just give it a little color in the middle. And that will also accent your stamen when you put it in place, and then you're going to give it some coloring around the edges, and you'll repeat that 3 times with each of the large petals. Then you're going to take each of the smaller petals that are the leaf shape and also sponge them around the edges with your color choice, and this will help them to have more dimension and to pop off the page a little more than if it was just left unshaded. Okay, now I didn't tell you about that, but the stamen is cut from the Daisies die using the Big Shot machine, and we choose for this project the very large daisy to get the nice long stamen. And when you punch it out on the Daffodil Delight cardstock, you get a nice thing there. Okay, and then you can cut it up to make your stamen. So you want 3, 1, 2, 3, 1 for each flower. I think that when Lynn Pratt did it, she said she cut them freehand, but if I got a way to get the shape some other way, I'll get it. Okay, so you're going to add your stamen and add your petals. Let me turn this around your way. And add your petals. And you'll glue them all together with snail adhesive. And then you're going to take a little green and sponge it on the bottom. This is garden green ink. Obviously my sponge is a little dry, so we'll ink it up a little more. And we'll sponge that. And what this will provide is a transition down to the stem. Okay. And then with it all glued together, I'm not doing it because I might have to redo the video. You know how I am. And then you would attach it with snail to your stem. Okay, and you'll construct 3 of those and then attach them to your card. Place the first one at an angle heading up into the upper left corner, and then add one to the left and the right, one a little bit higher, one lower, and then your stems will be off the edge of your piece, so you'll just trim those. And then you can also, for the leaves, if you sponge them with the garden green as well, that gives them a little more dimension on the page. And I just put mine both one on this stem and one on this stem. You may want to dry fit pieces before you glue them down. Okay, then after you've got your flowers and leaves in place, then add your seam binding around the entire thing. Remember, this piece is what you're building everything on. Wrap that around, and after you've wrapped that around, then you can attach your floral front to the card with snail. Okay, then the last thing you'll do is construct your label. So here you've punched your label, and this is an optional step. I took Daffodil Delight and this mini background stamp from Clearly For You stamp set, and Clearly For You, okay, and I stamped it with the daffodil on daffodil. It doesn't show up real good, and that's why I'm saying this is an optional step, because it doesn't really add that much dimension. Okay, and then you would add layers of labels. So here we go with the modern label, and then with our stamped Happy Easter, and it's stamped in garden green ink, and then we add that to the front of our card. So there you go, and this goes together pretty quick too. And have some fun with it. Change up the colors of the Calla Lillies and change your labels around or whatever that makes it more you. Okay, thank you.